All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about maybe the biggest shift hitting the tech world right now, how AI is completely changing what it means to be a software engineer. And look, this isn't just about a couple of new cool tools. It's a whole new way of building software from the ground up. So, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll tackle the big fear, the replacement myth. Then we'll get into what the new role of an engineer actually looks like. After that, we'll talk about the partnership between you and the AI, how to measure if it's even working, and finally, we'll wrap up with what skills you really need to focus on for the future. Okay, first things first, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the elephant in the room. This idea, this anxiety that AI is coming for all our jobs.
Yeah, this is the big one, right? The question on every single developer's mind. But what if I told you it's actually the wrong question to be asking? The fear is totally understandable, but the reality? It's way more interesting and honestly, a lot more complex.
This quote just nails it perfectly. The real threat isn't some super smart AI. Nope. The actual danger is being the person who doesn't learn how to use it. It's not going to be AI versus humans. It's going to be humans with AI versus humans without. Okay, let's make this super practical. Picture two teams. You've got Team A, the traditional way, right? They're manually slogging through code, writing tests, doing docs, the whole 9 yards. But then you have Team B. They're using AI to blast through all that repetitive stuff. And they're not just kicking back. They're focused on the really important things, defining the problem, designing the system, and making sure everything works. The difference in what they can accomplish, it's not just a little bit. It's a game changer. It's massive.
And that huge productivity gap we were just talking about, it's not just about going faster. It points to something much, much bigger. It's a sign that the very role of the engineer is evolving. Your value isn't just about how many lines of code you can write anymore. It's shifting to something way more strategic.
So what is this new role exactly? Well, we're calling it the solution orchestrator, and I love that term. Think about it like a conductor of an orchestra. They don't play the violin or the cello themselves, right? But they guide all the individual musicians to create this incredible, unified piece of music. That's you. You're the conductor. And the AI? Well, it's your orchestra, helping you build these amazing systems.
And this is pretty much what that new workflow looks like in practice. Check it out. The human, that's you, is doing the super important work up front, defining the problem. Then you're designing the architecture. In the middle, the AI just churns out huge chunks of the code. But then, and this is so important, you come back in at the end to validate and integrate everything. You become the strategic bookends to the whole process.
So what you get is this really powerful partnership, and there's a super clear separation of who does what.
Okay, let's talk about AI's sweet spot. It is an absolute beast at the grunt work. All that repetitive, kind of boring stuff that used to eat up so much of our time. Writing boilerplate code, cranking out unit tests, even documentation. AI can just chew through that stuff at a speed we could never match.
And what does that do? It frees you, the engineer, up to focus on what we're calling the human blueprint. This is the big picture, high-level thinking. We're talking system architecture, really understanding the business context, making those crucial calls on security and reliability. These are the things that need human judgment. And AI can help, for sure, but it can't own this stuff.
And let me be crystal clear on this point, because it is absolutely non-negotiable. You are the final gatekeeper. The ultimate responsibility for making sure the code is accurate, secure, and ready for production, that falls on you, the human. AI is an amazing tool, but it makes mistakes. You are the safety net.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but how do you actually know if it's working? How can a company be sure that this new AI partnership is actually delivering real value and not just, making a bigger mess faster?
Well, here's the key. You can't just measure speed. That's a trap. To really see the impact, you have to look at 4 different things at the same time. You need a holistic view. Real success isn't just being faster, it's about making things better across the board. And this framework really lays it all out. Think of it as 4 pillars. First, engineering velocity. Simple question. Are we actually delivering features to our users faster? Then, code quality and reliability. Okay, we're fast, but is the code solid? Are we introducing more bugs? Third, AI usage efficiency. This stuff isn't free, right? Are we using it smartly or just burning money on tokens? And finally, maybe the most important one, developer experience. Are our engineers happier? Are they less frustrated? Are they focused on innovation? You've got to balance all 4 of these to truly win.
And holding all of this up, you absolutely need strong governance. You can't just let this run wild. You need to have clear rules, guardrails, to make sure you're using AI safely and responsibly. That means protecting sensitive data, locking down your source code, and yes, I'm going to say it again, making that human review mandatory for everything.
All right, so let's bring this all together. What does this mean for you, for your career, for the future? It really boils down to embracing a whole new set of skills.
Look, the most valuable engineers moving forward are going to be the ones who are masters of system design. They'll be experts at looking at a complex problem and framing it correctly for the AI. They'll be wizards at validation and testing. Their main job is to guarantee that whatever gets built isn't just fast, it's built right.
And if you take away just one thing, let it be this. This is not a competition. It's a collaboration. In fact, it's probably the most powerful collaboration we've ever seen in software. We're not talking about replacing human intelligence. We're talking about augmenting it, making it even better.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The question isn't if you're going to use AI. That ship has sailed. The real question, the one that's going to define your career and the success of your company, is how well you're going to orchestrate it.